Hey there, I'm back here yet again, and you know what that means. I'm going through another one of my collections, one of those type of videos. And this time around, it's going to be my Pokemon VHS collection, plus some DVDs as well. Anyways, to start off with the Pokemon movie VHS tapes first. And the first one is obviously going to be the first one, Pokemon the first movie. Yeah, a classic, iconic. Everyone loves this movie, including me. I love this movie too. But yeah, and also I love the cover of this. It has Mewtwo and Mew on it, and all the other Pokemon surrounding them. And the fact that it says Mewtwo versus Mew, I always like that too. It also has their numbers on it too, 150 and 151. But yeah. Pretty cool. It's an iconic movie. Classic movie. And here's the back. There's some scenes from the movie and scenes from that little mini movie short that plays before the movie, Pikachu's Vacation. Yeah. And then there's some Pokemon down there. Got Meryl and Snubbull and Donphan. Johto Pokemon that appeared way before Johto was even a thing. I always loved when Pokemon did that, by the way. They showed all, or they featured future generation Pokemon way before the actual generation came out. I always loved when Pokemon did that. Oh, and look. Donphan and Snubbull are on the front of it as well. But yeah, I always loved when they did that. Anyways, next one is personal favorite of mine, Pokemon 2000, the movie, or Pokemon the movie 2000, or Pokemon 2000, I don't know which one you would want to call it, but yeah, this one's a personal favorite of mine, mainly because Lugia here, it's one of my favorite legendary Pokemon, plus it's a really great story with the whole Chosen One stuff, and the whole fight between Articuno, Moltres, and Zapdos. You can barely see Zapdos there, but yeah, and Lugia as well. And also the whole collector guy as well. That's pretty cool. Yeah, it's a really great movie. It's one of my personal favorites of the Pokemon movies. But yeah. And there's the back of it. Shows more scenes from it. And also Pikachu's rescue adventure. That's the whole short before this one. And there's some of the Pokemon from it. Oh, well, there's good old Slowking. He's in the actual movie. But there's the other Pokemon that's in the short. You got Lekid, Meryl, Togepi, Chansey, Poliwhirl, Ladybug, Hoothoot, Pikachu, and fucking Execute. Execute is, unfortunately, a big part of the little short mini movie before this movie. Pikachu's rescue adventure. Yeah. Fortunately, but yeah. Anyways, a great movie, one of my personal favorites. And next is Pokemon 3, the movie, or Pokemon the movie 3, or Pokemon 3, Spell of the Unknown. But yeah, we all know how I feel about this movie. I've made an entire video talking about the fucking unknown in this movie and how it fucking annoyed me that they were made to look so powerful and legendary, but in reality the unknown are kind of basic and mid, especially in the games. If you know, you know. But yeah. Got good old Entei, another one of my favorite legendaries. Charizard, of course, and all the crystal stuff. Also, I love how it said Entei and the unknown letters down here. It's pretty cool. Spell of the Unknown. Yeah. Here's the back of it. Pretty cool. Got some scenes from the movie and scenes from the short on this one, which is called Pikachu and Pichu, with the Pichu brothers. Yeah. And there's some more Pokemon down there. It's got Smeargle, got Pikachu and Pichu brothers. Got Phanpy, got Apom, got Wobbuffet, got Totodile, got Cyndaquil, Hitmontop, Houndour, Murkrow, and Chikorita there. Yeah, pretty cool. It's a great movie, actually, even with the unknown thing. And next one is surprisingly not the fourth one. This one is Pokemon Mewtwo Returns. Yeah, I don't have the fourth one on VHS, but yeah. Anyways, this is the whole, basically the sequel to the first movie, or at least a continuation of Mewtwo's story. You know, this is the one where Team Rocket and Giovanni go after Mewtwo and try to capture him and whatnot. Yeah, spoilers, by the way. This whole movie. Pretty cool. Still great. Still a pretty good movie, even for a direct video sequel continuation thing. But yeah, and that's the back of it. Kind of generic though. The back is really pretty generic. Yeah. Got Wobbuffet though, and of course Mewtwo. Also, by the way, I'm not showing the inside of these because they're all pretty generic, especially for the Pokemon movies. Yeah, that's pretty generic looking, and it's kind of boring. Honestly, the cases are more interesting to look at, so yeah, at least in my opinion. But next is the sorry, my eye is itching. Next is the Pokemon episode VHS tapes, which I got a good few. First off is the first one, technically. Pokemon I Choose You. This has some of the first episodes of the Pokemon series. You know, Pokemon I Choose You, Pokemon Emergency, and Ash Catches a Pokemon. You know, the episode where he catches a Caterpie and whatnot. Yeah. And there's the back of it. Team Rocket, Pidgey, and Caterpie, and Meowth, and Chansey, and an Ekans down there. And there's Viz Video and Pioneer. Remember those from the little motion cards from the other video. I think, yeah, that's where those motion cards come from, is some of these tapes. But, yeah. And also, I don't know who wrote on this front of this tape. I don't know if it was me as a kid. I don't know. I don't remember doing that, but someone did. Could have been me, but, yeah. Anyways, next one is, weirdly enough, the next set of episodes. The Mystery of Mount Moon. Yeah, that's the episodes with Challenge of the Samurai, you know, the whole Metapod showdown. And then there's Showdown in Pewter City, you know, that's where he faces against Brock, and there's Onyx. And then Clefairy and the Moonstone, yep. That's the whole Mount Moon thing, you know, where they think Clefairy comes from space, which, it's a cool idea. And it's fun to think about, that it's one of the few alien Pokemon out there. But yeah, anyways, there's Clefairy and Pikachu doing the whole metronome thing. Got Onyx, of course, and there's Ash. But yeah, and it's the back. Got Team Rocket looking all mysterious and dark. And there's Butterfree. Oh yeah, this is the episode where Metapod evolves into Butterfree, right? Yeah. I think he evolves in Challenge of the Samurai. Yeah. Next isn't the next set of episodes, surprisingly enough, because I don't have all the episode VHS tapes, but I do have a good bit. Next one is Pikachu Party. Yeah, remember the episode where Pikachu feels like he wants to join all the wild Pikachu, and he ends up almost leaving Ash. Yeah, that's this. That has this episode in it. It also has the Ditto episode, which is a favorite of mine, and also the Bridge Bike Gang episode where Team Rocket, you know, was a former member of the Bridge Bike Gang and whatnot. And then they fight well, not Team Rocket doesn't fight him, but Ash and them have battles against the Bridge Bike Gang and whatnot. Pretty cool. There's that one. And next one is Showtime. And I like this cover of this one because it has Pikachu and Meowth all dressed up in suits and stuff. Yeah. this is the episode with Psyduck and Wigglytuff, you know, the whole movie thing they did. You know, that thing. And then this is also has the episode of Go West, Young Meowth, you know, Meowth's origin story of how he learned to walk and talk stuff. Yeah. And also has the episode with the giant Onyx in it. I think that one's called To Master the Unexpected. Yeah. And next one is one of my personal favorites. I've watched this certain VHS tape so much in the past. Pokemon Fighting Tournament. Yeah. It's one of my personal favorites. Mainly because it features one of my favorite Pokemon. Primeape. He's my second favorite Pokemon. But, yeah. Unfortunately, he's not on the cover, though. But you got Hitmonchan and Machoke and Pikachu with boxing gloves. Yeah. And then in the back, you got Hitmonchan again and Pikachu. I think that's a direct scene from that episode, the punchy Pokemon. And then also this one also has Sparks Fly for Magnemite, which is a great episode too. One of my another personal favorite because I love Magnemite. And dig those Diglett. That's why it has Diglett on it. But yeah, pretty cool. Pretty cool. I always kind of was bothered that it wasn't called the punchy Pokemon on the front of it. It's just called Fighting Tournament. That's kind of generic, but yeah. Also, by the way, this is what these look like inside. At least it's somewhat more interesting than the movie VHS tapes. At least they did something. But yeah, that's what all these look like inside. Next one is the... Sorry, my eye's itchy. Fashion Victims. You know, the episodes about Vulpix and also Pokemon Sensation. That's the one where he has to sneak into the gym for Erica and whatnot. You know, the grass gym or whatever it's called. Celadon City Gym. Yeah. And he dresses up as a girl. And then also this is the episode with Hypno's Nap Time, you know, that whole thing where, you know, the missing kids thing and whatnot and whatnot. And that's where Psyduck catches Misty. Yeah, Psyduck's on the back of it. But yeah. And also that's where Brock gets Vulpix as well from that one lady breeder or whatever. Next one is Wake Up Snorlax. Yeah. That's the episode where they try to wake up a big Snorlax that's in the way and try catching it too, but it ends up being owned by someone. But yeah, it also has the Eevee brothers in it, you know, and the Evolutions, or the Eeveelutions. You know, Vaporeon, Jolteon, and Flareon, and there's Eevee, of course. And it also has another underrated episode, Showdown at Dark City. Yeah, that's a really underrated episode. My name is Tom Ado. If you know that reference, yeah, you're a real one. But, yeah. Anyways, next set of ones are these next three are kind of in order, weirdly enough. Into the Arena. This is the start of the league stuff, or the Indigo League stuff. Yeah. This one also, again, has another favorite episode of mine. The Ancient Puzzle of Pokemopolis. You know, has those gigantic, ancient-looking Pokemon with the markings on it. Gengar, Jigglypuff, and Alakazam. And yeah, there's the whole artifacts and whatnot, the Psyduck one. And that really dark one where that captures everyone. I think that's the one for Gengar up here. Yeah. And then this one also has the Badge of the Bone episode, which is the one with Marowak, which is an evolution of my favorite Pokemon, Cubone. which I'm wearing that shirt again, in case you didn't know. Can't really see it, but oh well. And yeah, it also has the Moltres one, obviously. You know, where it's not really Moltres, it's like Spirit of Moltres and whatnot, because Team Rocket tries to steal the flame and whatnot. Yeah. Okay, so next one is technically the next set of episodes to that one. That's the round one. Yeah. These are some of my favorites too, because I've watched this tape so many times. As you can tell, it's not in the best quality. But yeah. Because this is the start of the, I don't know, the pre-Indigo League. But, you know, it's like the battles before the actual league and whatnot. It's like the qualifying rounds or whatever. I forget what they called it in the show. But yeah. You know, you got the first one with Krabby and Kingler. Cookie. And then you got Fire and Ice, which there's that one episode, there's that one part where Pikachu melts all the ice, or they melt all the ice, and Pikachu has to, you know, be in the water and ends up shocking Arcanine and whatnot. And then there's the fourth one with the infamous Bellsprout that beats all the Pokemon besides Muck. Spoilers. But yeah. Oh, and this one also has Executor and Golbat in it as well. I think that's in the first episode, round one. And next one is, weirdly enough, I think this is the next set of episodes, if I'm right. I could be wrong about this, but yeah, I think it's at least more of the Indigo League stuff. But yeah, this is the one where he battles against a basically copycat version of himself as a rival for the league called Richie. And Richie also has a Pikachu too, Sparky. And the only way you can tell them apart is the whole hair thing. Yeah. I always thought it was kind of weird how they made basically a copycat version of Ash for him to fight in the league. But yeah. Pretty cool. Set episodes. And next is something a little different. These are episodes, but I don't know why this one looks different. This is some of the Johto episodes. Johto League episodes. Yeah. I only have one of these for some reason. But yeah. This one has the, obviously the Umbreon and Hitmontop and Golbat. I think that's where Zubat evolves into a Golbat, if I remember right. Yeah, it's that one. Yeah, Hassle in the Castle. And then there's the Hitmontop one, and then there's the Umbreon one. That's Gary's Umbreon, by the way. But yeah. Sorry, my eye's itching again. Anyways, that's that. And next ones are kind of special. If I can get them out without knocking everything down. Next ones are Pikachu Winter Vacation, or Pikachu's Winter Vacation. Basically the whole winter Christmas special they did. I always loved them. And this one I lost for a while and I didn't know where it was. I ended up finding it at my dad's house of all places. I don't know what it was doing there, but it was there and I found it there, and I'm glad I did, because now I have it back and I can watch it anytime I want. I mean, I could watch it online anyways, but at least I have it in physical form now. Again. But yeah, it's basically the winter Christmas episode. Got Kangaskhan and all the other Pokemon. Squirtle, Psyduck, Togepi, Vulpix, Pikachu, of course. I think Bulbasaur's in this one too, ain't he? Yeah. He's not featured in it, but yeah. Anyways, another special one is the second one. Pikachu's Winter Vacation 2. Yeah, this is the sequel to that one, basically. Or at least I don't know, the second Christmas winter special thing. But yeah, got all the Pokemon on the ornaments here. Heracross, Chikorita, Togepi, and Vulpix way down there. But yeah, that's the one with the newer Pokemon. You know, Heracross and Chikorita and everything. Yeah, it's really cool. These are really fun, by the way, these two. They're really fun specials. And I'm glad that Pokemon did a Christmas winter special thing. But, yeah. Anyways, next is some more episode VHS tapes. But these are kind of different. Remember the gold ones? The gold and silver ones? Yeah. This one's the first one of them all. The first one of the whole Johto Journeys thing. You know, the Johto series. With the Johto Pokemon. Got Heracross, got Totodile, got Chikorita, Cyndaquil, and whatnot. Heracross is on the back. Also got Suicune. Oh yeah, Suicune first featured in one of the episodes, didn't he? In the first one, I think. Don't touch that dial. I think it was in the beginning. A Suicune type thing, if you remember. But yeah. Oh, these are also made by Viz Video and Pioneer. Huh. Didn't know that. Next one is one of the silver ones. I only have one gold one. I don't know if they made any more gold ones, by the way. But, yeah, a silver one. This is the one with Hoot Hoot and whatnot. You know, where he saw through all the illusions and whatever created by the ghost Pokemon. And this one also has Donphan and Bellsprout. You know, the whole dancing Pokemon thing. Yeah. Roll on Pokemon, Illusion Confusion, and Flower Power. Yeah. And there's James dressed as a ballerina. Next one is another silver one. Buggy Boogie. And it got the whole Taurus thing, which I think happened in the last episode of this tape. But yeah. I got Getting the Bugs Out, got a Farfetch'd tail, and Tricks of the Trade. Which there's Farfetch right there, and of course there's Wobbuffet. The trade one is where Jessie accidentally trades her Lickitung for Wobbuffet, and Wobbuffet becomes a kind of an iconic part of Team Rocket because of that. But yeah. Next one is another silver one, of course. Snow Rescue. That's the one where Ash finds the wild Chikorita and has to save it from Team Rocket and whatever, and then he ends up catching it, and the Chikorita falls in love with Ash and develops a crush on Ash and whatnot. Yeah, and this is also the one with Quagsire. Once in the Blue Moon, that episode. You know, good old Quagsire, the dopey looking Pokemon. I love him. I love how dopey he is. And this one also has the Whistle Stop, which I think that's the Letaba episode there. That's why they're on it. But yeah, some great episodes. And this is the last of the silver stuff. Gold and silver stuff. Midnight Heroes. You know, this has the episode with the Houndour and whatnot. Hour the Houndour, and then there's also the Totodile Duel and Hot Matches. You know, that Totodile Duel is the one where both of them attempt to, Misty and Ash both to attempt to catch a Totodile, and one of them ends up catching it, but they end up still battling over who gets to keep it, technically. But yeah, in the end, Ash gets it. But also it has the episode with Skarmory, you know, where Cyndaquil fights Skarmory and whatnot. But yeah, pretty cool episodes. Also, I love how Houndour's eyes are like glowing red. Pretty cool. And to end off, the DVDs. I did have some DVDs as well. I have this, which is basically a collector set of all the 4 Pokemon movies. You got Pokemon Forever, got Pokemon Jirachi Wishmaker, got Pokemon Heroes, and Pokemon Destiny Deoxys, one of my personal favorites again, because I love Deoxys, the alien Pokemon. But yeah, pretty cool. I don't know what what does it look like? It's like a, oh, yeah, it's kind of boring. I didn't know for sure. It's kind of boring to look at. And then I got this thing. The Pokemon All-Stars collector thing. Over 11 hours of Pokemon adventures featuring the most popular Pokemon, all in a commemorative DVD box set. Yeah. As you can see on the bottom, and this is the Pokemon it has episodes about. Pikachu, Jigglypuff, Charizard, Squirtle, Blastoise, Eevee, Bulbasaur, Lugia, Charmander, and Mudkip. Yeah. I love how this one's set up. I don't know if I could show it. How good I could show it. Yeah, that's how the DVDs are set up. Pretty cool. It has 10, right? Yeah, 10. I don't know if you can see all 10. But yeah. Pretty cool. I got this from Walmart. I saw it there. And I was really happy when I saw this. The Attack of the Prehistoric Pokemon. I was really happy when I saw that they had this episode, because I unfortunately never got the VHS tape with that episode on it. I always wanted it. I always saw it in stores, but I never ended up getting it. But yeah, I was so happy when I got that one, because now I got that episode in physical form, technically. But yeah, pretty cool thing. Yeah, that was pretty much my entire Pokemon VHS collection, plus some DVDs. But yeah, and I told you it wasn't as big as my old card collection from before, but there's still plenty to see and plenty to check out and whatnot. And yeah, anyways, hope you all enjoyed.